You know how sometimes you're doing what I call a random act of kindness, but nobody sees it. Okay, and you do something good, and no one knows what you did. And what am I talking? I'm talking about, Mario was just telling me what he did for somebody, and he encouraged them to do an event, and nobody's ever heard about it. And I asked him about it. He brought it up, thinking, no one knows you did that. I know because he does it all the time, but sometimes you do good for people, and in business, it's in life, you do it so many times that nobody sees it, and you get discouraged, like, why am I doing anything good if nobody sees it? I remember I was told a story. I'm driving right now on Canaan Road headed to Malibu. I heard a story by a man 5.5 years ago, a man named Eric, who was in the Navy many years ago. He was in the Navy many years ago, right here by Santa Barbara. And he said, one time, my sister ditched school, and her and her beautiful friend were going to the beach, and I begged my sister to take her with me. So she initially said no, but finally she took him, and this is back, we're talking 60 years ago, because he's in his late 70s, this man Eric. 60 years ago, he's 13 years old, so 65 years ago, 70 years ago, you're talking 1950s, 1960s, 1940s, 1950s. And he says, I got into the wagon, we go, and while you're driving to the beach on Las Virgenes or Canaan, there's this tunnel that you go through. He says, the wagon breaks down. And we have no idea what to do. I'm 13 years old. My sister's 16 years old. I don't know what to do with that. What are we going to do with that? And he says, a man pulls up in his truck with a dog in the truck with him. He's in his mid-20s, late 20s. He gets out. He says, can I help you with anything? He says, yeah, we have a flat tire here, and we don't know how to change. He says, no problem. Goes back, gets everything, comes down, changes the tire, and says, you kids take care of yourself. He says, no problem. They say, sir, what's your name? He says, my name is Ronald Reagan. Interesting story. And you wonder if I'm hearing about that story about Ronald Reagan, and he ends up becoming a president, and some say one of the best presidents we've ever had. He won 49 out of 50 states, loved by Democrats and Republicans, kind of like Kennedy was loved by both sides. Do you think Reagan knew at that point one day he's going to be a president, and another person who was in the Navy is going to tell this story to another person, and this story is going to be told years after he passes away? Do you think when he's in that moment he knows it? I don't know if he does. I don't think he does. At that time he was trying to be an actor in Hollywood, and his career was sport announcing and all the stuff that he was doing when he left Dixon. So many times when you do good and you think no one's watching, just remember the goodness of doing good. One, you feel good about it, but second is when you do it hundreds of times over a 10, 15, 20-year period, eventually your reputation follows, and many people start talking about it. This concept works in life, it works in business, it works in, if you're ever planning on getting into politics, it works in anything. When that reputation spreads, people want to have somebody like that in their lives, and they want to do business with someone like that in their lives. So today, for no reason at all, go do something good for someone. And if you want to share it with us on the bottom, tell us what you did. I'd love to hear about it. But today, just for no reason at all, help somebody out today. One, you'll feel good. Two, hopefully it becomes a habit. And continuously, once you do that, 10, 15, 20 years from now, your reputation will start spreading to everybody else as well. It's my message of the week to you. And yes, I am doing my best to drive safe. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.